In 2003, the United States toppled Saddam Hussein in just 3 weeks. But that was the world we knew. Tonight, we enter the world we never saw, a world where Iraq fights with the capabilities of modern day. Iran, drones, ballistic missiles, underground bunkers, and a weapon more powerful than any missile, the closure of the Strait of Hormuz. In this alternate timeline, America's victory is not guaranteed. In fact, it may not win at all. March 19, 2003. The U.S. launches its opening strike. But Iraq is no longer the hollowed-out state of reality. It is a fortified, missile-armed, drone-producing power, a mirror of Iran's military doctrine. The first U.S. wave hits, but Iraq's command survives deep underground. Then comes the counterstrike. Iraq fires over 200 precision missiles at U.S. bases in Kuwait, Al Udeid in Qatar, and naval assets in the Gulf. The war America expected is gone. A new one has begun. Before the U.S. can establish air dominance, Iraq unleashes drone swarms, hundreds of Shahed-style UAVs. Fuel depots burn. Runways are cratered. Supply lines are disrupted. The U.S. invasion slows before it even starts. The U.S. pushes forward. But Iraq fights like Iran's IRGC. Mobile missile teams ambush armored columns. Drones guide artillery fire. Militias strike supply convoys. And underground bunkers shelter elite units. Every kilometer becomes a battlefield. Every advance comes with losses. The U.S. still moves north, but the cost is rising. Then Iraq plays its most powerful card. Using Iranian-style anti-ship missiles and naval drones, it closes the Strait of Hormuz. 20% of global oil supply stops overnight. Oil prices explode past $150. Stock markets crash. Europe panics. Asia panics. Even America panics. The world economy begins to bleed. The Pentagon wants to push forward, but the White House faces a different war, a global economic meltdown. Allies demand de-escalation. Oil-dependent economies threaten to break with Washington. Congress questions the cost of continuing. For the first time, the U.S. invasion faces a political deadline.
So let us come back to the reality, a world where the United States cannot rely on speed, coalition strength, or global consensus. A world where the opponent is not isolated, but deeply embedded across the region, connected through alliances, proxies, and global partners. This is the world the United States faces in a war with modern Iran. Unlike Iraq in 2003, Iran does not stand alone. Its influence stretches across the Middle East through armed groups, political allies, and logistical corridors. When conflict begins, this network activates instantly. Missiles and drones are only one part of the equation. The real power lies in reach from the Mediterranean to the Red Sea. Two narrow waterways shape the world's energy supply: the Strait of Hormuz and Bab el-Mandeb. In this scenario, both become vulnerable. Disruptions in either location send global markets into turmoil. Disruptions in both create a shockwave the world has not seen in decades. This pressure does not defeat the United States militarily. It challenges its ability to sustain a long conflict. In 2003, the United States fought with a coalition. Today, the landscape is different. European governments debate whether to allow overflight or basing rights. Some decline outright. Others hesitate, fearing retaliation or regional instability. The United States finds itself operating with fewer partners, fewer bases, and fewer political guarantees. Power remains, but access becomes uncertain. Iran is not isolated. It receives real-time intelligence from Russia. It receives industrial materials and components from China. Its supply chains adapt, reroute, and continue. This support does not turn Iran into a peer competitor, but it strengthens its resilience, making rapid collapse unlikely. The war becomes less about overwhelming force and more about endurance. A prolonged conflict places pressure not only on the battlefield, but on the global system the United States leads. Energy markets tighten. Shipping routes become unpredictable. Allies question the duration and direction of the war. Rivals see opportunity. The United States still holds unmatched military capability, but capability alone does not guarantee a quick victory. For the first time in generations, the United States faces a conflict where time is not on its side, where the opponent's strategy is not to win outright, but to avoid losing long enough to reshape the balance of global power. A prolonged war risks draining resources, dividing alliances, and accelerating the shift toward a multipolar world. The question is no longer whether the United States can strike hard. It is whether it can achieve its objectives before the cost reshapes its global position. In this scenario, victory is not defined by battlefield success. It is defined by endurance, alliances, and global stability. And in a world where Iran has reach, partners, and strategic depth, the path to a quick U.S. victory becomes uncertain, and the consequences of a prolonged war could echo far beyond the Middle East.